Should the visa restrictions for foreign students that the last government imposed right at the end of their government, so we haven't really seen the full effects of it yet, should those be reversed?
We don't intend to change that, but what I do say is
the UK government has confirmed it will not reverse the Conservative government's restrictive student visa policies.
That international students who come to our country and study do make a tremendous contribution. I mean, in economic terms.
Labour's Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, stated that the government does not plan to lift the visa restrictions on international students. She acknowledged the significant contribution of international students, but criticised the previous Conservative administration for its approach to higher education. In today's video, we will tell you everything about the UK government's confirmation of not reversing the restrictions on student visa policies. So, if you've not already, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell for upcoming updates. The UK government has confirmed that it will not overturn the Conservative government's restrictive student visa policies, with Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson stating there are no plans to lift the current restrictions on international students. When asked in an interview with Sky News if Conservative visa restrictions for international students should be reversed, Phillipson said, "We don't intend to change that. But what I do say is that international students who come to our country and study do make a tremendous contribution," she said. Under the Conservatives, new regulations were introduced banning international taught master's students from bringing dependents to the UK starting January 1, 2024. Phillipson recognised the financial difficulties faced by UK universities and criticised the Conservatives' handling of the sector. "I think the last government were far too focused on picking fights and on suggesting somehow that university wasn't for some people, rather than actually acting in the national interest to make sure that our brilliant universities, who are a beacon around the world and are so well respected, are able to succeed into the future," she said. It is not the case that international students are taking places that would have otherwise been available to domestic students. In fact, they are cross-subsidizing students from the UK, and we've seen a drop in undergraduate admissions from international students in this phase. The confirmation by the UK's ruling Labour Party that it will not reverse the Conservative government's restrictive student visa policies has sparked significant discussion around the future of higher education and international student enrolment in the UK. Labour's Education Secretary, Bridget Phillipson, emphasised that the party does not intend to lift existing visa restrictions on international students, despite acknowledging their substantial contributions to the UK's economy and cultural landscape. This political stance comes amid a backdrop of increasing scrutiny over immigration policies, particularly concerning how they impact higher education institutions. Historically, international students have been vital for universities, providing not just tuition funds, but also enriching the educational experiences of domestic students through diversity. The presence of international students contributes significantly to the local economy, especially in university towns where they often spend on housing, food, and other services. Phillipson's remarks reflect a complicated balance that the Labour Party seeks to maintain, recognising the value of international students while navigating the political landscape shaped by concerns over immigration. The previous Conservative administration's policies were characterised by a tightening of visa regulations, aimed ostensibly at controlling immigration levels. Critics argue that these restrictions have had unintended consequences, such as deterring prospective students from applying to UK universities and leading to a decrease in global competitiveness. While the Labour Party does not plan to reverse these visa restrictions, Phillipson's criticism of the Conservative approach indicates a desire for reform in how the education system interacts with immigration policy. The Labour leadership seems to advocate for a more thoughtful and supportive framework for international students, one that would welcome their contributions without completely dismantling the immigration controls that have been politically charged for years. The decision not to alter the current visa policies also highlights the challenges faced by political parties in addressing complex issues like education and immigration. While there is a clear recognition of the contributions made by international students, the Labour Party remains cautious, potentially aiming to appeal to a broader base that may prioritise concerns about immigration. As the UK educational landscape evolves, the policies surrounding international students will likely remain a contentious topic. Educational institutions are urged to adapt to the ongoing regulatory environment while advocating for the importance of a diverse student body. The Labour Party's stance signals the need for ongoing dialogue about how best to support international students while balancing national interests in immigration control. Overall, the decision by the Labour Party not to reverse the Conservative student visa policies reflects a multifaceted dilemma where economic benefits, educational integrity, and political realities intersect. As debates on immigration and education continue, stakeholders across the spectrum from universities to students will need to engage constructively to ensure that the UK remains a welcoming and competitive destination for international talent,